Welcome to the Hub Podcast. I am your host, and with me, as always, is my sidekick, Robin to Batman.
Part of that.
Remember that? That one's
Yeah.
okay?
I'm part of that. I don't need to be the superhero of your fantasy world.
Fantasy world. Well, this is the day that we've been having.
Yep. This is the last 2 days that we've
Last
been
2
having.
days. I guess if you're just listening, if we have listeners.
Yeah.
We each have a
We
beer. We each have a beer.
I have a beer, I have a coffee, I have a water.
So, you are done with used cars, huh?
I was done with having a used car before we had a used car.
Yeah.
I think if you have to, you have to. I also think it's a smart financial decision to have used cars, and especially if you're able to fix them, great. I'm actually really not even against used cars. I'm against cars that don't have regular functions.
Yeah.
Which makes me nervous kind of getting, something like a foreign car still, but I think the hybrid situation and
Yeah,
there's just not enough
so we
to know yet.
We got a Toyota Prius, mainly for me to use for Ubering, because it's good on gas and it's just a car that works. But we got a 2008, and it's just been a nightmare. I've had to replace the regular battery, and
Which was a whole thing.
that was a whole thing. You can't find parts that fit right and whatever. You got to get special parts and you got to order them and all this type of crap. And so there's that, and then it's just like there's noises coming from the wheel wells, so I have had to inspect that and see what's wrong with what's going on with that, and it's just problem after problem after problem.
Yeah.
And then last night we're out and the whole car just shuts off and is just done
While we're driving.
So we're basically like right before a stoplight, just sitting there at night, have to put the flashers on, end up having to get a tow truck after looking at and stuff this morning and trying to figure it out. Like something's definitely wrong with the hybrid battery, and we don't want to...
Which is like $1,500 to even get ordered, let alone go through the process of fixing it, which is a whole, sounds like a shebang.
To where if you take it to somebody, it's going to end up costing way more than the car is even worth or what we bought it for. So it's just like move on from it and be done with it. But I'm not a vehicle expert, but I can replace pretty normal basic things. But when you get a hybrid car and it all functions differently or works differently, I don't know what I'm doing or messing with. So it's like there's no comfortability of trying to replace things or...
Yeah.
And it was 2008.
Yeah.
And it, 13 years old. And it's just like, this is what happens when you have used vehicles. This stuff starts to break and go. And I don't think we want to deal with that anymore.
I think it was great. It worked well when we, for a certain amount of time, but...
Well, and that's the thing, is it should have... To me, it should have lasted longer. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe also, this is a wrong perception for me, but when you buy a used vehicle, I think you have an expectation of, maybe I have to do these little minor things like replace the brakes or whatever. But the amount of things that have happened with this vehicle in the 6 months that we've had it.
Yeah.
It's like...
6 months. It's been longer than 6 months.
Okay, maybe 8. I mean, we got it when we moved.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
We got it when we moved here.
Yeah.
And when did we move here?
Well, and let's add more drama. No, March.
April, May, June, July, August, September, October,
Oh,
November.
okay. Yeah.
8
so
months.
maybe it was 6 months.
8 months.
But to add drama to the story also, we had another car. We had a brand new car that worked. It was great. We're excited that we still don't have it. We got rid of it. We got the dealership to buy it out from us because we had a lease and we just didn't really feel like we needed it anymore. We didn't feel like we needed 2 cars, blah, blah, blah. Within the 2 weeks of going down to one car, our one car shuts down.
Yeah, that's when the battery in the Prius,
Like
the
it was
regular
going
battery.
fine until we're down to one car, and then it
Yeah,
starts going to shit.
yeah. As soon as we go down to one vehicle, that's
Yeah.
when everything,
Yeah.
when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks. It's like not having a backup car, I guess, or whatever, a
Mm-hmm.
second one like we're used to having. We can't just switch over to the other one and get this one fixed, or
Yeah.
have me be able to have the time to fix it. It's like, oh, something's wrong with it. This is our only vehicle.
Yeah.
And I mean, where we live, Ubers don't even come out here, basically.
No, that's one thing. I've never experienced that kind of stuff. I've never lived that far out of like town
Mm.
to where like the amount of things that's happened where it's like nothing delivers to us, or we can't get picked up in an Uber, or like there's no stores around us that we can go get. Like, I didn't think it would be this limiting being
Yeah.
out in the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel like you
Kinda.
experienced that growing up? Or is like you never really needed to?
No, I didn't. I didn't really think or feel that way growing up at all. I mean, it was dealt with or kind of figured out how we've been trying to do it now. Is it's like, you got to fix the problem. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah, you can't just like, I don't know, Uber into town or even just like walk or whatever. Like, that's why I think what's kind of somewhat been the issue is it's like I don't really have all the tools to fix some of this stuff or do all these things where it's like out on the farm, like you have everything.
And you also had family around too that like if your car broke down or someone's car broke down, like, well, someone can still come pick us up and take us there, or like we can use their car for the week or whatever.
I think that's kind of what was the shock for me last night
Alone.
was,
We're so alone.
well, it was like, wow, we literally know nobody and there's nobody to come pick us up. There's nobody
Yeah.
to where usually, yeah, I've always been able to have somebody come grab us or grab me
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even just like, I mean, until, I've never really had a car towed. I've always had, dad or brother to come
Yeah.
grab me
Yep.
and
Yep.
put we had a truck with a flatbed always and
Yep.
could put just always doing it ourselves and not
Yep.
paying for that kind of stuff to where now it's like I'm trying to live that life, but I don't have any of the,
Yeah.
I don't have any of the stuff to be
That's
able to do
true.
it.
That's true. Yeah, because there is a lifestyle that works, and it's easier because when that stuff happens, you have someone to kind of help you out or the tools or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
we're so isolated, and like limited tools, limited even stores around us, limited ways to get to those places. And I mean, like, even we were talking about buying a new car today, and it's like, well, there is one dealership across the street, and we're like in walking distance. Otherwise, what are you going to do?
Right.
You're going to walk 4 hours to get to the other one? Like, an
Yeah.
Uber won't even come out here to then go drive us to the other one.
Yep.
Like, even modern day things that would be helpful, they don't work when you're out here.
No. Well, and that's why you become self-sufficient. That's why
Yeah.
you acquire all the things you need or tools you need
Yeah.
or whatever, and yeah, you do it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two versions. Whatever you want to do, doesn't really matter. That's just what I grew up in. Is it's like the farm had everything.
Mm-hmm.
We always had a car that was laying around that maybe one little fix, or it's like, hey, by the way, this does this thing, so just work around it or fix it, and then you can use it.
Yeah.
And that's just what I know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to where, I mean, no one would ever fix a car in my family.
You take it to
you
somebody.
go get it fixed.
Yeah.
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 So even that, like, seeing you do these fixes on your own and take out the battery and figure out, like, oh, this is how I have to unscrew it, or even like all the fuse stuff today. No one ever like dove into that. It was always like, let's just go pay for someone to get it fixed. And then so then I saw that side of it where it's like, oh my gosh, like, you're putting so much money into this thing getting fixed. It's probably just because you have a used car. To where, like, the whole, well, you save money if you have a used car. I kept seeing hundreds and hundreds of dollars go into getting it fixed every other month, which seemed more silly to me. To where if you can do it that way of fixing it yourself and you have the tools and all that, then totally I get it.
Well, and I think there's got to be a happy medium with it too. Like,
true.
With this car, with the amount of things that have gone wrong with it in the 8 months that we've had it, it's like we're spending more money to keep this goddamn thing alive, then
Yeah.
then then it should be worth. But because on the other flip side of the coin is like you have a car payment and you're paying $200 a month,
That's true. It definitely still is cheaper.
but it's way less like stressful or impactful. When you have the used vehicle and it's paid off and you're not making payments on it, you're kind of expecting to not make payments on it. So then when something goes wrong and it's like, oh my God, I got to buy a $260 battery.
Yes.
It seems shocking and whatever, but it's like just before we were dropping $350 on that car every month and didn't bat an eye. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like what you get used to, or almost like what the contract is with it. Like you buy a new car, you're going to make payments. You buy an old car, you don't have to make payments. So you could just kind of get into that.
Which I think for me, it's more of just the knowing of this is going to get me where I need to go. Because even like the payment wise, like sure, it could be cheaper, but you also can just be saving for like an emergency car, or like every month put in money in your budget for like, this is the car thing. So then when I want to replace this or when I want to da-da-da-da, you can do that. And it's not like, oh my gosh, now I got to come up with all this money and everything. But it's just the knowing, like if I was by myself last night, I mean, I feel like even with both of us, we were still like, I don't know what to do. To where if I was by myself,
Yeah.
I would have freaked out even more.
Well, and I think I immediately went into like, how can I fix this to get us home? And it was like, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have no clue. And then like what I said earlier is I'm used to being able to call my brother, call my dad, and somebody come picks me up or comes and brings the flatbed and it's all said and done. To think like, wow, I got to call a tow truck and pay for that, and that take it back. Like, I don't even know how that process works. That's what I was like asking the tow truck guy. I'm like, so can you take it to our house? Like, can you drop it off there? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how this works. I'm used to having somebody come and grab me.
Yeah.
Which also shows you how many horrible cars I've been in of.
Yeah, true.
I've had people come pick me up frequently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I'm over it. You pay for like the security. You pay for the security of, I know this car is going to get me from point A to point B. And it's like when these things happen to where it's like, it's happened to us twice now with this same vehicle. It's like, oh, all of a sudden the car doesn't work and you can't go to work, or I can't go to work, or, anything. You're stuck. It's like, well, this does not feel worth the like, oh, we don't have a car payment. It's like, cool. And you can't get anywhere half the time.
Yeah. And I never want to be that person. It's like, oh, I have car troubles, or just like, like
having
to
call into work all the
time. It's always
time.
the like last minute emergency stuff. I don't like that. If I'm like, I just.
No, I don't think anybody wants to be that person.
Because I know, like, I'm annoyed, I'm stressed out, and I'm making you annoyed and stressed out. Too.
Yeah.
Like, if it's my, job
making,
or whatever.
You're making everybody else kind of panic and freak out and have to cover your shift. And
yeah.
Yeah, so we're
over it.
We're gonna finance a car.
We'll still get a used car, but I think Corey and my dad made a good point with that. Is like with it getting at a dealership, they have to go through certain
protocols. And,
like I think people can be great and people can be honest and true, but I don't think the guy that we bought it from was like gypping us at all. I don't think he knew that any of these things were going to happen, or
no, I don't think so either.
And then he just sold it anyways. But
no, it's just what happens with vehicles.
It also can be beyond a person's knowledge. Like when we sell the Prius to somebody else, like we're going to be as honest as we can, but
there might be other stuff that goes wrong with it
because we just don't know.
Right.
It's not like we have our machines that can get plugged in and figure out what's wrong with it, or a trained mechanic look at it and go, these are the things that you're probably going to need to get fixed, or whatever.
Yeah.
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 So hopefully we're getting a Fiat.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the one we're looking at.
Hopefully. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. It'll be a fun surprise for people at Christmas too.
Yeah.
If I think it would be funny not to say anything and then just like pull up and.
I'm surprised my dad didn't have more of a reaction.
Yeah, maybe he's busy.
Yeah, maybe. Because I feel like I was worried to tell him, not worry, but just like, I know that this is going to be a whole thing of like, we were all like, he was there when we sold the other one and we were all pumped about it and like, we're going to get to go down to one car. It's awesome. We don't need two. We get a deal. Like we thought we like won life.
Yeah,
for a second.
we thought we like like because they paid us to take the car even. Like we got money for getting rid of and
we didn't want.
Yeah, we got out of the lease and they gave us money and we were like, holy crap, we just got a steal. Like
we thought we had
we won the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
and then
you get 1 month of no payment and thinking you are like, oh, we've done all the right things. We're on top of the world. We're winning life. Yeah. And then this happens. It's like, nope, we're going to go right back to where we were. But I still think the payment will still be cheaper.
Well, and like you said, it's going to be the security. It's going to be the nice knowing that we have a vehicle that we can trust and works well and all of that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. So.
And all in all, if you can fix cars, great. Go for it. If you're someone that needs, you drive a lot and you need the safety and security.
Well, and that's why I
don't get a Prius.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I'm so trying to stay as far away from hybrids now as I can, which
if you
is
ain't
silly.
getting a Tesla, see you later.
A Tesla. Yeah, right. How are you going to fix that?
Even a Tesla, same thing. Like when one of my bosses, when she got into her wreck in the Tesla, she was like, it stopped. It wouldn't even turn on.
Yeah.
Because it's like the battery. Like it's not like, oh, you can, like you said, put it in neutral and roll it away or whatever. Yep. Like you're just stuck there because it's a dead computer.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like we couldn't even get the Prius into neutral to like try to get it off and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just whole different system.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole different system. And for me, it's like I want to still be able to, like, I want to work on the car or, do that whole kind of situation. But only having one is kind of what sucks. Have a reliable one and then one that's like, yeah, it's fine if this breaks down. We've got another one that somebody can, we can come grab each other or whatever.
Which is the situation we were in.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy to be out of that lease.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, we're basically stuck at home until Wednesday, which is a week from tomorrow. So.
Yeah, and that's if we can even get the other car.
A bunch of videos. Yeah, true. As long as we can get that.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'll be able to do a lot of this and other stuff, like the editing and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so hopefully we can get more of this out there and quicker and kind of get on that routine.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's been hard, is figuring out a routine with this stuff. It's like when we should do the podcast and then when we should cut it and edit it and all that type of stuff. We haven't really figured out that routine yet.
Yeah. Whatever. We'll get into it. We'll figure it out. I feel like we just gotta like get into a flow. Like once we know how to edit it, I think the part of me that like doesn't, I still need to figure out how to edit it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go through that process.
Yeah.
But I think once we both know how to do it.
Yeah, then it'll be fine. Well, and I think that's kind of what's nice about being stuck. Stuck here is it kind of forces us to do that. In
a weird way, it kind of reminds me of like the beginning of COVID and quarantine. Like remember those 2 weeks when it was like April 1st, we're going to come back. Mm-hmm. And it was like 2 weeks from then. And thinking like, oh my gosh, we need to take advantage of, or at least that's how I felt. I felt like we need to take advantage of these 2 weeks. Like I don't have to work. Like let's go to the beach 3 days a week and let's do all this stuff. And there was like a feeling of this is exciting. We get to do a bunch of fun stuff, but then also this like nervousness to get it all in. Of like, don't lose, like this time is so special. Don't waste it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I think so too. Like, yeah, we kind of have like uninterrupted time for basically a week that it's like, yeah, let's get whatever things priorities done. And
Well, it's almost like in a way I became like stressed about getting the fun stuff done, but it's like the guilt free of I can't go to work.
yeah.
So like this is your time to do something fun. Like I don't remember where he said this, but um Justin Bieber said it like, COVID was the first time that he actually got like a break from whether it was touring or doing anything with his career since he was like 15 or something, or when he started. And I feel like there's a little bit of me that can relate to that when that tiny first like glimpse of a you don't have to go to work
Yeah.
happened, I was like, I've never had 2 weeks of guilt free, do whatever you want in as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Because even if we were like off from school, I wasn't off from dance. Or if for
Yeah.
some reason we were off from dance, then it's like, well, you better be going and taking some class somewhere else. Like you
Yep.
can't take 2 weeks off. I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. There's a little bit of me that, as much as that was a horrible thing for everybody,
I think a lot
it
of
was
people felt that way though.
still like, I don't know.
I think a lot of people felt that way,
I
that
sometimes miss that.
it could be an opportunity to, yeah, do something else or do something fun. I mean, even just how many people that switch jobs and, or quit their job and found something else to do, or just found new lives basically because of it. You finally,
Yeah.
you stop instead of just being on that train.
Yeah.
You're forced to stop and evaluate. And yeah, this is almost like a mini version of that, where it's like, you're stuck at home for a week. So what are you going to do? And it's like, we both kind of went, well, let's do a bunch of podcasts
Yeah.
and, learn how to edit and cut it the way that we want to. And just get into that.
Because I feel like there's a little bit of when you strip away the responsibilities, then it's like, because otherwise it's always like, well, I could do this. We always have availability to do this, to do whatever shooting we want to do, edit whenever we want to edit truly.
Not
But
whenever we want.
maybe not whenever we want, but there's still time to do it. But because there's like, but you could do this too. You could go and get this done. You could drive here and do this. That those things always seem like they're more top priority.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is just it's so easy to make other things more of a priority. And a lot of the times it's the stuff that shouldn't be,
Yeah.
It's like what we were talking about either today or yesterday, was like, at least the way that I see it. I don't know if you agreed with it necessarily or not, but like, it's kind of weird how the things that we really want to make sure we get done end up being lower on the priority list for some reason. That's like, no, I want to make sure that like we get the podcast in and done. We do our workouts.
Yeah.
And we do those things that are higher on the priority list, rather than like, oh, well, we should do all these other things first. And then those things that we actually care about end up getting pushed to the wayside. It's like, it should be the complete opposite. And I don't know why, but it's almost like an epiphany of like, yeah, why am I putting these other things that don't matter as much about like, oh, I got to make sure I do the dishes. It's like, well, no, that's not top priority. Top priority is like, get a podcast done and get it edited and cut and get that out there.
Yeah.
That's way, way higher on the priority list than getting dishes done. But yet I'm like, oh, I got to get the dishes done. And then I'll get to this and it's like, all of a sudden I don't work out because I had to get the freaking dishes done.
Yeah.
Like, what
when
are
it's
we
like,
doing?
it's not even like the things that you're choosing is like, well, this is just like a fun thing for me and this is responsibility. And then you're choosing the fun thing over the responsibility. It's like, no, this is still work.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's less of a responsibility. Like the dishes. It's like, yeah, sure, you should get them done. But at the same time, like,
They're going to get done.
They're going to get done. And well, like, that's the thing that should be pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Over like doing a podcast or doing your workout.
Yeah.
It's like, no, those things are way higher on my priority list. Why am I pushing? Why I have it flipped?
Yeah.
And then I end up feeling worse because it's like, oh, I didn't work out. Where I wouldn't feel that bad of like, oh, I didn't do the dishes.
Yeah, they're still there. You're still going to do them. Even if you do them, there's going to be more dishes.
Well, yeah.
It's not like, it's like just something like that of It's like, okay, you can accomplish something by it's done and you can check it off the list. To where like doing the dishes, like you have to do those. Like it'll force you to do them.
Yeah, at
You
some
eventually
point.
your sink will be full or you don't have any dishes or
Yeah.
whatever to where like not editing something or not working out, that could just go unnoticed and you would like
Yeah. Yeah.
like
It does. It goes unnoticed, and you realize that you didn't do it, or you know that you're not going to, but it's kind of forgettable. Or like the dishes are, they're just piling up and sitting there right in your face.
yeah. Yeah.
And then justifications come in, and all that type of stuff comes in of like, well, I was busy doing this and that, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, you just didn't follow your like what's important to you and your
Yeah.
priorities.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that kind of just goes back to like what we were talking about yesterday with just having an intention with what you're doing. Like everything can be productive in your day if you have the intention clearer in your mind.
Yeah, you kind of know what you're getting, what you're trying to do or accomplish.
Yeah. Just because what we were talking about was like but I feel like we both have this where we're lazy and we don't want to do anything, but then we have this urge of like, you don't be like, be something. Like
Yeah.
accomplish something today, prove to yourself that you can be something, or like you're not a bum. And then you sit there and you're still doing the lazy thing of you're just sitting there watching podcasts or whatever. And then you start to feel guilty or like rip on yourself for not going and doing that productive thing when it's like you could just sit there for an hour and go, I'm going to just sit here and get the rest. I'm going to sit on the couch for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you set the intention of I'm going to rest for an hour, well, now you did it. Good job. And now you can go on and do something productive or flip it or whatever. But it's that in between of, well, I should go do that thing. I should go do that thing. And then you're just thinking of that the whole time you're relaxing or whatever. And now
Yeah.
that thing that could have been productive because you just had the correct intent on it was now a waste of time or a distraction rather than, no, that was purposeful.
Yeah.
Because I meant to do this. I meant to relax for an hour.
Right.
Now I can go on with my day or do something else or plan the other thing and be intentional about it.
Yeah. It's that in between land. That's the worst. It's the worst place to be. You're doing something, but you think you should be doing something else,
Mm-hmm.
or like you said, you don't have an intention for what you're doing. So it's just kind of this in between thing to where it's like, even if it's like, yeah, I'm going to sit down and do nothing, but you you make that the intention of like, yeah, I'm going to sit down and do nothing. This is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do that. The purposeful, that's a perfect word.
Yeah.
It feels so much more like this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because this is what I put my mind to do, rather than like you sit down on the couch and you're like kind of on Instagram or you're kind of watching a podcast, but you're thinking about like, oh, I should really get up and do this, and just that in between, and then you end up not really doing anything, and then it's like, well, your whole hour was just wasted, or however long was wasted because you were in this in between, not doing anything.
I wonder, there's probably so many of these kinds of places. I wonder who thought of this for the first time.
Like the milkshake bar?
Yes. So there's this place in Austin here. It's called The Yard, and it's a milkshake bar. And they do cool glasses. But it's like crazy milkshakes where they have like donuts on top of it and Rice Krispie treats and cookies and just like weird, crazy flavors and whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on. They look so cool. The only thing I don't like about it, I don't like that it's a milkshake. I wish it was like ice cream.
Yeah, it would be so hard to eat though then, because you think about how much they top it with and like put all that stuff on top of it. It would be hard to like take a spoon and try to eat it like that.
Why though? Because wouldn't you just eat the stuff on top and then eat the ice cream?
Yeah, but then it's like kind of separated, you know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The flavors are cool enough that they could be.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the way that we like. I like to like take some of the ice cream and eat it, or I guess the milkshake, and then like take a bite out of the toppings that are on top of it to get kind of the mixture. Where it's like you're just like eating the whole Rice Krispie just to get to the bottom, just to get to the ice cream part. It's like you're not really getting the you know.
Yeah.
combination, I guess.
But I wonder who came up with this kind of stuff. Like, I feel like this is kind of under the same idea as like the Voodoo Donuts, as the
Just
what
took it
was
to
the one
another
in
level.
Madison?
Hertz.
Hertz. Like, just like they're like donuts with
That's
crazy
such a good name.
Hertz.
Hertz donut.
Yeah. Oh wow! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. That's perfect.
That is good.
Somebody that just like was on top of it.
Yeah. But just like who comes up with that idea of like these things that are super unhealthy? How do we make them even crazier? Like just someone that was like, I have a cool, I don't know, like I have an imagination, but I really like food. So how can I mix the two together?
Yeah.
You know, not I don't know. They look so cool though. They look cool. They taste good.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's a fun idea. Like
You get to keep the jar.
the quality of your thing probably doesn't even need to be that good because it's just cool. It's like it's not like Voodoo Donuts are any better than regular donuts.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the fact that it's like, oh, you can get one that has bacon on it, or you can get one that like has a monster face or whatever. It's like the same frosting. It's not any different.
Right. Yeah.
Like okay,
It's just
so
somebody-
it's literally a donut with frosting and then there's cereal on it.
Well, it's literally just somebody who's probably putting a little bit more time into it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Train.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I got these headphones on.
Those places are cool though. I remember when Coldstone first came out.
Well,
I was
first
at
came to Janesville. Not first came out.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe not when it first came out, but it wasn't in Janesville yet. It was just the first time I ever went to one or have heard of one. It was in Fort Wayne, where my grandparents lived in Indiana.
Mm.
And we went to like one of these outdoor malls that I liked, and we went to, and there was a Coldstone in it, and they're like, "This is this new thing that just got here. It's so cool. Like you can go put in." Like pick your own toppings and they mix it together and whatever, and like the concept was like, what, you get to pick, and they like it was like something so simple, just like you get to pick some toppings,
Yeah.
but because all the different toppings they had, it was so cool.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if this is an actual thing or something one of my family members said. It's probably a thing and I'm just thinking they made it up, but then the idea of doing that with cereal, like going to like a Coldstone type place and you can just like pick a bunch of different cereals and mix them together. I want to say that's an actual thing.
I mean, I guess I would believe it, but that seems so dumb to me. There's no way that works.
I mean, it's
cereal's
kinda, it's kind of dumb anyways.
You go buy a. I don't know. I guess yeah.
How would I look that cereal?
That seems so weird. Just do like cereal shop or something. That seems so weird.
We will see. What? Oh, this is interesting. 25 places every cereal lover must.
Oh my god! It's probably that. This is me. This is so me.
I know.
This is me and Carrie. This is what we should do. Carrie and I should tour the country and go to all these cereal, whatever.
Okay, this one is called the Milk Bar.
Mm.
Is it the same one? Milk Bars. It's there's one in Boston, Vegas, LA, New York, and Washington. But it's basically just like they put cereal in ice cream. Milk and cream cereal bar.
Oh.
Milkshake, ice cream, or bowl base. 16 different types of cereal to blend with it. In New York.
Huh.
Oh, wow. Fried soft serve pie.
What?
What?
That's not cereal.
No, but they like use cereal. Okay. As the fillings for things.
See, this isn't like go to these
No,
places
that's
because it's
not what I
cereal to me. Like this is just like, okay, this is just like go and get treats. This isn't like for cereal lovers. It's like cereal's not like the thing with that.
Voodoo Donuts. Why is that on there? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's dumb. That's lazy. No. That person just like what's cereal on, and that's where you go. It's like cereal's not even the main dish. That's
Yeah,
not
that's true.
cereal lovers.
Yeah.
Cereal lovers want like the limited edition cereals or
So this one's different. This is you can pick as many different cereals as you want, and then they top it with ice cream. It's basically the same, I guess, just a different order. Wow, some of the stuff looks so cool though.
I'm offended.
Gizmo's cereal bar. All like literally all of these are in LA. And there's a full
Well, yeah,
cereal
what isn't
bowl
in LA?
menu to choose from. What?
Everything is in LA.
You know what kind of ice cream that I really want to try
Hmm.
is that ice cream that they like roll. You know what I'm talking about? Like they spread it out to where it's like a sheet,
Yeah.
and then they roll it up. I think
Yeah.
those look so cool. Something about ice cream that you can chew, I like. To where I feel like you could bite that.
I mean, sure, it may look cool or whatever, but it's kind of like the best ice cream is just
Regular.
yeah, like just let it be traditional. The best is the traditional. Quit trying to fancy it up.
Yeah, but what's your traditional? Because we only get Ben and Jerry's. That's not traditional ice cream. That's a bunch of crazy stuff in
Well,
it.
sure, I guess no, I don't need it to be, you know,
Like you'd have just like a
the
vanilla or a
first
chocolate.
ever made. No,
Oh.
but like, it's like this, it's like this gelato bullshit.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, and it's just
But-
they're just selling you. They're just selling you. Oh, we do it cool.
No, that's different. Gelato is like a tradition just in other countries. To where like that is their clean cut classic ice cream. They don't do regular like ice cream like how we do like soft serve or custard. Theirs is gelato.
Oh, well then I mean, yeah, I guess
I
you're
think
talking
we're
about
just adopting it because it's cool somewhere else.
sure, yeah. Yeah. Well, and they may have ice cream too. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like
But
it's super
just-
big in like Italy and
But just all
Greece and
these like I don't know. I just don't like the ice cream wannabes or cereal wannabes or pie wannabe. It's like you're not the thing. You're not going to be as good. And then this is what they do. We flatten it and then we roll it. And we make it look cool.
That's pretty much like Coldstone is what they do. Like it's just because they're mixing. They're basically making like a Ben and Jerry's in front of you. Because that's the only thing. That's the only cool part about it is like the toppings are mixed within.
Well, and I think that's genius.
And they make it in front of you.
I think that's genius. You're taking awesome like Reese's peanut butter cup cut up and adding it to ice cream. It's not like we're gonna roll the ice cream and then sell it to you for $8. It's like what?
Yeah.
You as much as you shop the deals and you love the deals, you get caught up in advertising so bad.
Why?
Oh, like that.
I'm not a Coldstone person.
I'm saying Coldstone is pretty clean cut and normal.
What? No, because
It's just ice cream added with M&Ms.
yeah, and
That's
it's
pretty simple.
So expensive though.
Well, everything's expensive when you buy it that way. But it's like you get caught up in the like, oh, I want to try that. They flatten the ice cream and then they roll it and then you can chew it. You get caught up in that. The advertising. Oh, they do it cool.
I just want to see if it tastes different because it's rolled up. It's something that's already so good. It's like, well, why would I not want to try it? It's like the same thing. Donuts are good.
Cause
Cereal is good. Do they
don't
taste good together?
don't fix what ain't broke.
No. You just get to add something else to your portfolio of ice cream.
It's a trick. It's a trap.
I don't know.
It's a trap.
I used to go to Coldstone.
If somebody's their advertising is we roll this, and that's the difference.
I wonder if it's different ice cream though.
That's a trap. We roll it. You're trapped.
Yeah.
There's no going back once you say we roll it.
Do you have you ever had the when you would go to Coldstone, what would you get?
Oh, I mean, probably something peanut butter.
I think I would always get the cake batter ice cream.
Yeah.
I went there so much.
Yeah,
Did I tell you
I
that?
did not. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not go there that much.
Oh my gosh.
You think I would, but
Yeah, so much. So much.
it's
I
a
mean, like,
great spot.
there were multiple times. So because there's the one in Janesville, there's a Subway right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my ex-boyfriend loved Subway.
Yeah.
He would go and get 2 sandwiches. They'd be the same sandwich. The way he would eat it is beyond. But get 2 sandwiches. We'd get, this is like a daily occurrence. We would go get Subway and then go get Coldstone.
It was not daily.
Oh, no, not daily, but I definitely remember
You'd be dead.
2 or 3 times where we went to Coldstone twice in a day. And just put this into money wise, I wasn't paying for any of this. Coldstone is like $10 a person. And then we're getting Subway on top of it. And we're doing this daily. Stop. We should not be doing that. We should not be doing that.
Those are the days, though.
That's so crazy.
That's when you do that.
That's like we would go to Subway so often that I was like, I need to like mix it up. I need to mix up my order because I was getting so sick of just putting the same thing.
I need to mix up my Subway order.
Because it was like I was eating Subway at least like twice a week or something.
Dang.
It's so funny how, like, thinking of who I am now with like eating and whatever, I would never do that. Like, it's not even like. It was like a thought of like, oh my gosh, I'm having Coldstone this much. Like I wasn't gaining weight or whatever. But just the things that you care about or you don't like or just like don't whatever. But like I remember on Fridays we would go to Quick Trip by school and he would get a bag of drinks. Like
that's so up
he
your
is like
alley,
the
though.
most like just like fun with that kind of stuff. If I had any idea of like how much this stuff costs, I'd be like, this is so stupid.
Well, and drinks are
like,
your thing.
Oh, it was.
Look at the what you got.
I know.
You got like 6 drinks just over there.
Do you remember those? And they might just have them no, they don't. But like those Calypso drinks.
Oh yeah.
Where they're like the brightest color.
Yeah.
He would get like 3 of those and just like down those lemonades, like the full thing. Like he would just get a bag of drinks, and that was just regular. That was like normal living.
Well, I mean, we're having beers on a Tuesday.
I know. To me, that's normal. The bag,
normal.
getting a bag of drinks. That was so who he was though.
That's fun though.
It was fun. It was fun. That's just like, I mean, he was such like a candy person and drinks and
yeah,
I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, that is fun. I do have an obsession with drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've broken that down psychologically, though. Like, I feel like that makes so much sense. I feel like there's 2 parts to that. I think it's the fun of getting to go to a gas station or something and get a drink is connected to, like, driving somewhere or going on a vacation, and then you get to do that. But I think the actual drink, like having multiple drinks or going to a coffee shop, it's something that can be fun and enjoyable. That's simple.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like you said, you have so many good memories with just like going to a gas station and getting drinks because that means like you're going camping or you're going on a trip to, Chicago or something. And you're going and doing something fun usually is what that means.
Yeah.
So you just have this awesome connection to going to gas stations because of that.
Yeah.
Or just having multiple drinks.
Yeah, like
anytime
we went to the airport, we would get to go to Starbucks. Mm-hmm. And I'd get like the strawberries and cream frappuccino. Which now, again, being adult, I'm like, what a waste of money for that. Like, it's basically just like a really sugary shake.
Well, I mean, being a parent is a waste of money in general.
I know.
You're buying them clothes that they're not going to fit in 2 months.
My dad's getting coffee at McDonald's, yet he's getting us strawberry frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a lot of simple things like that, I feel like, in life. Just like going to a coffee shop and sitting there, and that's where I have a lot of fun. Or going and getting drinks, and that's where I have like my excitement.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not.
It's like this stupid crap that I'm like,
You're
oh my gosh, I just
like you're
send
not
me.
high maintenance at all.
I don't need a lot, I don't think, to like really get me pumped.
No. No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. One of them, what was something as a kid that you can remember that like every time this happened, you could like, you just remember like just being so like kid pumped about it?
I mean, I think like anytime we would go, how do I say this? Anytime I had to get up early, usually meant we were going somewhere cool or doing something like going hunting or going fishing or going camping. Yep. For some reason, we always had to leave super early, but you know, it was always like, my mom or dad or brother or one of the brothers or something would come wake me up, and it's like, it's still dark out, and it's like, hey, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, as a kid, you think it's like, oh my God, it's like 2 a.m. But it's probably like 6 or something.
But it's like those nights that you're like, I can't even go to sleep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's always something that I remember, that like being pumped is like getting woken up early. And it's like, oh yeah, we got to go do this thing. Like I'm getting up super early to go do this.
Yeah.
And kind of the same thing, like the gas stations and stuff. I mean, I don't have the same, I think, level of it as you do, but
sure.
I mean, same type of thing. Like we go up hunting or go on a camping trip or anything like that. It was usually like, we'll stop at McDonald's for breakfast, or we'll, you know, stop at a gas station and get drinks, or so something like that too, I guess.
For me, the first thing that came to mind was whenever Celia would have a bag of clothes for me. Mm-hmm. Like if I was getting a because she would just give me like 2 or 3 bags at a time of just clothes. Yeah. And it would always be random, of like, hey, I have a bag of clothes for you. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh my gosh, I just get to get a bunch of brand new clothes. To me, brand new clothes. And like for her, I saw her as this cool older cousin that like had the fashion that I liked and whatever, that now I get to pick out things that she thought was cool and get to have them. And I remember like just waiting, like, when can we go pick them up? Mm-hmm. Like I wanted them right away. And then as soon as we got them home, like me and Kara would go through them, and that was so, I loved that. I loved that.
That happened with me and my cousin Charlie. But I didn't have the same excitement as you do. So it's funny that both happened to us. Yeah. Kind of in that way of like an older cousin has clothes. But I remember being, you know, like, oh, cool, I get to have a couple hand-me-downs or other clothes, but I don't remember being like pumped about it.
Because there's just something about clothes. Like I would still love that. There's something about clothes where it's just like a different, like it's not like you're getting someone else's furniture or you're getting someone else's like Tupperware or plates or something like that. Like it's something about, oh, you picked this out, and it's something I would never have picked out, but because I'm just getting it, no, I'll try it. Yeah. Or like this is a cool, different, you know, I would never have picked out that shirt. Yeah. I don't know. It's something about the like forcing you to.
That's how it works though. Like
I love it.
It's usually what you wouldn't pick out or what you wouldn't spend the money on. Yeah. And then you acquire, it's like, oh, I really like this thing, although I know I never would have picked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I would get so pumped. Yeah. I would get so pumped. Yeah, and she would get new clothes all the time, so it's not even like I have to wait years for it. She just like give me bags at a time. I was like, how do you get rid of all these clothes? Yeah. Yeah. Like, are you, I don't know, like I'm not growing that much.
You don't get rid of any clothes.
I know. Well, I also I feel like I grew up. I like got into my size and then I stopped. So it's like
Oh,
well, this
sure.
is fine. So like I have not, besides I would say I've definitely changed like my shape. I don't think that would have changed really that much unless I started working out though. Like I just have certain muscles and maybe more fat in certain areas since I've built them up. But as far as like my frame, my height, all of those kinds of things, like I've looked like this in 7th grade. Is when I like stopped peaking.
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
gotten any taller. My boob size hasn't changed. Like shoes hasn't changed.
Yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I think you still somewhat change a little bit.
Maybe the only thing I'm saying though is
Maybe.
I feel like if I was still eating the same or just teaching regular, like if I stopped working out, I noticed myself slimming down.
Yeah.
That I think the areas that I'm a little bit bigger in, because like I weighed like 112 pounds in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like to be that weight again. I don't know if I would be that, but like as far as my shape, I don't know if it had anything. I don't know if it had much to do with age or because I kind of like altered those areas to change based off of how I was working out and what I wanted to like make bigger.
Yeah. Well, I think you can.
Like I don't know if my genetics would have done that naturally. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. See, I think like you look at anybody, like they're probably not the same shape or size that they were 10 years ago. It just is kind of an evolution. You just keep changing. Like I have a hard time believing like you're 23, you're going to stay this size and shape forever. Even if you continue
No.
to work out and
No, I'm sure I
do
would change.
things
Yeah.
that like sure you're not going to get taller, your shoe size isn't going to get bigger. Like
Yeah.
that stuff typically stops, but like I don't know, I feel like you start to adjust and like areas that certain areas get bigger and smaller that maybe weren't before and
Yeah.
as you get older like stomach gets bigger and to where now it's
Sure.
like trying to keep the stomach as small as possible basically or
Yeah. Oh,
trying to get legs bigger or
yeah.
this more toned or this and that, but then it's like you start to get older and you start putting on weight or size in areas that you really can't control a lot of the time. That's how it works. Your body's trying to just survive.
Sure. I think it doesn't. I think it can be done. It obviously can be. It does happens all the time. It's doable. I just think it's more of a mental shift. Like it doesn't matter as much to them anymore. Like I think like I'm just going off of women. I think like women in their maybe later 30s or 40s or they're just like I don't give a shit anymore. To where like
Maybe.
girls my age, I'm like that's all I.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, I don't know. I don't. I think there's only so much you can do, and it's not to say in a bad way, like everybody's doomed, but like as you get older, it becomes more and more important to carry body fat.
Oh,
It's good.
sure.
It's good for your
Sure.
health and survival.
Yeah.
That like your body's naturally trying to do that. That it's just like you're 23. You're not done with how you're going to be shaped and look.
No,
Maybe
no.
not look. I shouldn't say look because obviously you're gonna age, but like you can't just like. It's like for guys, it's not like you can have a 6-pack till you're 90 years old. Like your body's just not gonna let you do it. It's not gonna be healthy for you.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is kind of a odd one for us. We didn't really talk about anything fitness, but
That'll happen though.
I mean that's fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes fitness is annoying.
I mean,
sometimes you just want to forget about it, and you just don't want to think about all of that.
Yeah. Or half the topics, things that no one's gonna care about. 100%.
Yeah.
But
maybe
that's also, it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like two things. I think when I listen to other people's podcasts, and now that we're doing one, and I'm so like, don't be boring, don't sound stupid.
Yeah.
But then I listen to other people talk on podcasts that I love. I'm like, you're not talking about anything.
They're just shooting the shit.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I don't know.
I think
It is
we're
just stupid stuff. Like,
I think nowadays we're just innately interested in everybody's lives.
sure.
That like, yeah, you can just be kind of talking about nothing, or like,
Yeah.
you know, even the people that's like the little things that we talked about, they may connect to, and it brings them back memories
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. That's like, we're just shooting the shit, talking about nothing.
Yeah.
And it can have people remember certain things, or, you know, even if, you know, if like your dad listens or something, it's like he can think about trips that you guys went on, and it reminds him of those things and all of that type of stuff. That's like, yeah, we didn't really talk about anything, but it maybe is just a cool get to have memories.
Well, I feel like I think of like hanging out with your family. Most of the conversations are nothing. Like, there's no like deep substance to them, but it is just like shoot the shit fun.
Yeah.
Or like, I think of like us having like the conversations I'll have with Carly. Like, we'll have a full conversation about shampoo, or, you know, just like something random, but it's like you still learn about them. You still get to know what they like or what they don't like, or just like diving into a topic that most people be like, this is so dumb. Why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
But it's like, but I still would like to know.
Yeah.
You know, like that's 90% of my conversations with her, but they're the best.
Yeah.
Because like, no, to me, I'm like, no one else would talk to me about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's always those things where we will have a long conversation about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully people are like that too.
Yeah.
And if you're not, that's okay too.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, I tune out listening to podcasts, so maybe
Yeah.
people just tune out, or maybe this isn't their favorite episode, or maybe for some people this is, because they're like, oh, thank God they didn't talk about fucking working out or health or something. Like, I need to get that shit off my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
We brought beer, ice cream,
Yeah.
cereal.
that's more of my kind of podcast. That's what I like to talk about. I'm ready to have some ice cream now.
We were craving everything yesterday. It
Yeah.
was beyond. Like,
It's never good when both of us are too.
yeah.
Usually it's like
Yeah.
one person's going crazy and the other person's like, no, like, you know, that's, I don't really feel like that. It's like, okay, that kind of helps you get out of that. But when both of us are, it's,
This is something that everybody should do once in their life. And it is so unhealthy to do, but it's so fun. Think of all of the, like, if you could create your perfect meal.
like your
Even
death
if you're
meal.
going to like 5 different restaurants or fast food places, like, I think of like, okay, what would I get? I'd probably get like orange chicken and rice from, and I'm just gonna eat the whole thing, but like orange chicken and rice from Panda. I would get chicken nuggets from like a Wendy's or a Chick-fil-A. I would get
Again,
fries from Burger King.
this is exactly, this is going back to what I said earlier. You're not high maintenance. Like, your perfect meals is all like shit fast food restaurants. It's not like, oh, I want like a ribeye steak and I want this. It's like, I want chicken nuggets. I want rice.
I am true. Like, this is where like, no matter, the more money we get, the more that I'm like, I mean, we literally were just in Miami and we had at our fingertips some of the coolest restaurants that you could go to, and we went to, and I'm still like, Taco Bell was one of my favorite meals.
Yeah.
There is
That's
something
not for
about
me, but
there is something about the nostalgia of those places, and like, I grew up eating trash fast food, so it's just like, I'm a poor person at heart. Like, like that is like true to who I am and what I feel like my roots are. Like, I am blue collar. That is it.
Well, and I think nostalgia is the perfect word. All of the stuff that you just absolutely love is based on nostalgia. The drinks, the fast food, like,
yeah. But that's what I would suggest to do just once. It's so fun. I've only done it one time, and it was the best. Like,
yeah, I don't think I've done that.
oh, it's so cool, because then you can just like, I don't know, one of those moods that we were in yesterday where it's like, oh, I want a burger from here. I want chicken nuggets. Oh, I want Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, I want pizza. That's the day. That's when you're going to do it. That's when you should do it, because then you get to like hit all of your cravings. And sushi and...
Yeah.
You're going to spend a lot of money. It's going to be very bad for you, and you're going to waste probably half the food, but it's going to be really fun.
But then you'll feel like shit tomorrow, and then you'll kick it back into gear.
Yeah. That's one of the things that that's one thing I would love to do as a parent. Is like, we're going to drive to maybe 5 different places, but let's all pick out something, and then we can just like bring it and we all share. I mean, I love sharing too, but just like bring it and all share.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so fun. Think of that as like a kid getting to do that.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Fun.
That's true.
That would be so fun.
That's true.
Yeah. Stuff like that I think is important to do.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Well, we should have some fun, right?
That's such a balance with being, in the health and fitness environment, but even just like trying to be a healthy person. There are some times that you have to think of like your whole physical being. Like, yes, is it the best thing for my body and my internal organs and the whole workings of this to eat all that crappy food? No, but does it feed my soul and my happy, like my happy cup? Does it fill that up? Yeah. Well, then that's going to internally, I believe, still make the rest of my body and all that kind of stuff work better.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to keep you motivated and keep your spirits high. That, it's like, that's so much of the it's the mental game. So much of the battle is the mental game that it's like, you got to have some fun and make it worth it.
Yeah. 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 Life's too fun to be like super perfect all the time.
Yeah.
There's too many cool things to do.
Yeah.
And eat and drink and experience and
it's
kind of the whole like, what is it? What's that saying? Oh my God. What is it? Like the live longer, like I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time. That kind of finding the balance of that. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna go crazy, but like, do I want to be so stressed about making every perfect health decision while I'm here, or do I also want to enjoy a soda every once in a while and drink when I want? And
I think Post Malone said that.
Well, he's a genius, so I could get it.
I'm sure somebody said it before Post Malone, but I think that's where I heard it.
That's awesome. I feel like my dad has said that before too. Either my dad or or something.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good.
Yeah. That's the message. That's the whole wrap up.
That whole elongated
between not getting a Prius, getting a car.
Don't buy hybrids.
The joy of getting drinks at gas stations, getting hand-me-down clothes.
Yeah.
Eating whatever you want, going to Coldstone. What's the dilemma between ice cream and cereal? It basically all wraps into one theme, which is we're here for a good time, not a long time.
All right.
And that's it.
Cool.
You can cut it there.
Well, follow us on Facebook. We're going to be posting more videos soon, especially because we have all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, YouTube. We'll probably get an Instagram up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the way to find us now.
Yeah.
If you have questions ever, you can just post on the page, or comment on one of our posts, and we'll try to go through and answer them. We'll probably put up another post of like any fitness questions or whatever, and continue to do that.
Yeah.
But
we'll probably do that more periodically, just kind of like a Q&A type episode.
Yeah.
Because then it can just be derived basically by your questions. And and even if you don't have a question, but you're just like, I want you to touch on this topic.
Yeah.
Something like that we could do a separate episode on as well. But we want this to be very interactive. Yeah.
But I think if you don't see anything of like us saying, hey, ask us a question, you can always just comment or post on there, and we'll try to get to it. So
yes.
Facebook, YouTube, that's pretty much where we're at right now.
Yep. And look out we are going to be dropping a Black Friday special.
Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up. Yeah, is the a Black Friday special. We'll probably talk about it more on the next podcast, but
look out for that post.
Yeah, look out for that Facebook post.
Cool.
Sweet.